Alrighty, welcome back to Automotive Anatomy. Today we have Juan. Juan, thank you so much for making
nice
some time
to meet
for
you.
us, man.
No problem.
And so tell us, man, what do you drive?
This is a 1978 Honda Civic CVCC. Nice little motor built in it. It's got a B18C built up, so it pushes about 216 to the wheels.
Wow.
Hard to put down those 216, but we try to.
And so how long have you owned the car?
So I've owned this car almost 20 years now. This was actually my first car. So when I turned 16, pretty much my grandmother, my mom used to work for this lady, and she bought the car brand new in '78, and she drove it 5 miles a day every day.
No
so
way.
when I got the car, it had 32,000 miles on it. For my 16th birthday, she said, "Hey, here go the keys. This is your car."
You're kidding.
And I drove it bone stock.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, you said 20 years.
Yep.
Why kept it for 20 years?
First car, I think you just get something with your first car. If you're a car person, it doesn't matter what you get. If it's a Toyota, Suzuki, whatever it is, it's a memory you have, I feel. So it just kind of sticks to you.
Too many memories. Huh?
Yeah. So.
And what was your vision for it?
For the longest, I drove it bone stock, and back then, there's no money, no nothing, so it's just like drive it until it goes down. But what you see here is pretty much what I wanted.
All right, Juan. So tell us a little bit about the front end of the car.
So these cars in '78, they all came with rubber bumpers. So normally it's a bumper to here, and then it's normally a rubber end.
Oh, okay.
This is 75 to 77 bumpers, and then we tucked them in so that it just hugs the car a little bit better. Turn signals are off of I want to say it's a Euro Civic. They actually normally go, when you have more space here, they'd actually normally go up here. But seeing that we tucked it in so much, this is what we came up with. Still complements the car well. We ended up doing about 1.25 inch flares front and back on the fenders.
Now, did you wanted to do that just because you knew you were going to run a wider tire, or was it a wider tire first and then that led you to?
No, this was like, I wanted the car to be low and wide, but not too crazy. So for most people, they'll look at the car and they'll be like, "Oh, that's cool." It's like, I didn't realize that they were that wide. So like you put this one next to another one, and then you realize how much wider, or the 1.5 inches that it's wider.
It makes a huge difference.
It makes a huge difference, but it's subtle. So if you don't know any better, you think it's stock. Then you put it next.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
So
okay.
So so that was the whole plan of making it a little bit wider without going exaggerated or without bolting anything on, you know.
Wow.
So it was all sheet metal work done to make it still what it is today.
And what's the color code?
The color code on this is off of a IS 3000. I think off of like a 2001, 2002. I forget the color.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's from a Lexus. The first time I ever saw that Lexus, I just looked at the color. I'm like, oh man, that's a nice color.
You don't want the legs, but you want the color.
Yeah, no, the color was exactly what I wanted.
So you mentioned wider fenders, wider quarter panels.
Yep.
Tell us a little about your tire and wheel combo. This is your newest wheel setup that you have.
Exactly.
So what do you have going on, man? So
this setup, the guys over at Love 20B set this up for me. He posted some wheels, some guy that did some Mugens that were 15. The faces these are actually real 15s Mugens. So what they do is they literally rip out that face and they rebarrel the whole thing. Mm-hmm. So I would have to use 14s to be able to make 15s, and I ended up going with 15s to make 16s.
Okay.
So just to give enough space for brakes and everything else. So this one's got, the fronts are running 2.5 front lips and 4-inch barrels in the back with the custom face, obviously. So this is fronts are 6.5 by 16s, and in the backs we went with a 3-inch lip front lip, and then the four in the back. So you're running a 7 in the back, 6.5 in the front, but all 16s.
And the tire setup, what do you?
So we just picked up these Nankang. So the tire treads is like a 100 wear. So pretty much this is the tire, one of the track tires that people use that is still technically street legal.
Oh, okay.
So this gets me semi legal or on the street, right, versus running the full slick. Oh. Car originally came with a tiny brake into it. Then when we first did the car and we had my other set of wheels, we had a 91 SI discs in the front with, I think it was like a 7-inch rotor. So we ended up, when I decided to do the brake upgrade is when I was kind of forced into doing my wheel upgrade, because
for you, right?
Yeah, because the CCWs I had on it, same thing, those were all custom built, so the offset on them, they worked fine in the back, but in the front, because of the bigger caliper of the NSX, I would have to use spacers, and then it would stick out too much and it wouldn't be flush. So once I did that, that's when I saw the guy, hit him up. He was like, "Oh yeah, we'll do it." And then 2.5 weeks later, he had a nice set of wheels for me. I had bought the MR5s already, and it was like, all right, I was just gonna dump those on there, but once I saw what he was doing with them,
you're like, no.
Man, these things, I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I need.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you stay forward lug as well.
Yeah. So the same thing. These cars came. The bolt pattern on these cars were like a 4x120, which is
120.
Yeah. So not a common bolt pattern. So when we first built the car, we did 4x100s all the way around. Like I said, I was running SI brakes in the front, and then it's got a Accord disc brakes in the back.
What year Accord?
92.
92? Wow,
yeah,
okay.
So 92 in the back.
Was it hard to modify that?
No, it's literally all it comes down to is the different types of bushings that you're using. So it's like pulling the outer the outer bearing off of something else, and just literally making sure it all meshes together. So the back, I could have gone with something smaller, which I probably should have, but the backs are massive, and that's it. The car looked funny, and that was one of the things that was bothering me, and that's why I kind of went with the bigger setup. Is the back has like a 9.5-inch rotor in the back, and I was running like a 7 in the front, 6 in the front. So I was like, oh man, it's so tiny.
Right?
Yeah,
with the hot rod.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So eventually, so that's why we ended up doing the NSXs in the front. These cars normally come with moldings in the front here, and they come with a bunch of side moldings, and then they have the quarter light in the back. We shaved all that off. There's a gutter ring that goes up here. We shaved that, the antenna. Other than that, like I said, I didn't want it to look super. The lines of this car is pretty crazy because it's pretty clean looking. Mm-hmm. So it's like I didn't want to take too much off of it, but I didn't want to just make it all flat either.
Right.
So other than the top and just the side moldings and the marker lights, just kind of left it the way it was. So.
That's awesome, right?
Yeah.
And then the rear.
The rear. So the rear, same thing. Tuck bumpers, tail lights off of a 75 to 77, which is all red, versus the 78, 79s, which is like an amber and a red. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I was going for simplicity. Didn't want too many colors, any of that stuff. So like a full all red, I thought was better, appropriate for the car. And
now, how hard is it to find these pieces? Because I mean, you're saying like a 78, 79 tail light, and it's just like simple, but
so when I first got the car, it was one of the hardest things to do, or not the hardest things to do, but it was dial-up internet and a bunch of
dial-up,
and it was there was like one forum. It was firstgencivic.com, which is still around, and it's like everybody's moved on to like Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. But like back then, it was literally me going to the junkyard and seeing what was out there, and sometimes I got lucky and sometimes I didn't. And every time I would go somewhere, it was like if I was in the city somewhere, I was like, oh, let's see what junkyards around here, and
Nice.
and just finding stuff.
Old school way, huh?
So the old school, and then it was the auto trader and people selling parts and stuff like that. So,
Did you ever get lucky at the junkyards?
oh yeah, surprisingly back
What was
then.
the best part you bought? 'Cause I've never seen one of these ones at the junkyard, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
What was the best part you found at the junkyard? You couldn't believe it.
a wagon. Finding wagons were one of the hardest things, and finding a decent wagon was even worse. So when I found the wagon, I took the spindles and all that, which is necessary to make the 4x100 in the front. The back is easy. The front is the pain in the butt part because of the spacing of the brackets and everything. The wagons had the correct spec, so you can just kind of somewhat bolt on almost everything to it. So once I found that was like cool, done there.
You were late
But
to that
then-
wedding that day, huh?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
stopped by and you're like,
Yep,
man, we're dropping this bad boy.
yep. So.
And then tell us about the little lights in the back.
So those are standard reverse lights. So normally it's one, or actually it's two, but they're also normally for same 70, 75 or 74 to 77. And then the other, like I said, it has the 78 should have different ones, but these look more appropriate for it. So these just earlier Civic reverse lights. He asked me, what do you want to do with it? I was like, I just want to drive it. I want to enjoy it without having any issues. And he's like, all right, cool. Yeah, let's just go with the B. We'll build it and internally, but something, good that isn't, mess with it too much where it's going to want to run hot or anything like that.